Doherty, who played Brenda in the wildly successful series Beverly Hills 90210 and then Prue, the oldest sister in Charmed, was one of the most promising and beloved actresses of the early 90s. Unfortunately, her talent and charisma were overshadowed by rumors, scandals, and dramas that occurred behind the scenes and in her personal life, which more or less sank her career into obscurity. Later she found inner peace, and the passage of time revealed that perhaps she was not actually a bitch, but simply a strong woman who stood her ground. Doherty came to Beverly Hills 90210 when she was 19 years old and with a distinguished professional resume, which included, among others, the hit series Little House on the Prairie and films such as Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Heathers. It took some time, but Beverly Hills 90210, which aired in 1990, became one of the biggest television successes of the beginning of that decade, and Doherty and stars such as Jason Priestley, Luke Perry, and Jenny Garth won the admiration that today maybe only Taylor Swift has. Unfortunately, it turned out that there was no less action on the set than on the screen, and the gossip sections were filled with reports of friction between Doherty and the rest of the crew which, it is said, stemmed from Doherty's attitude toward those around her, her excessive demands, and her constant tardiness. And apparently there was also quite a bit of jealousy toward her. Doherty said that after posing for the cover of Rolling Stone magazine, some of the other actors scolded her for daring to pose without them. Perry and Priestley, who were on the cover with her, did not receive similar comments. The tension behind the scenes was so great that on one of the shooting days a violent brawl almost broke out between Doherty and Garth. Garth denied that it came to physical blows. "I don't think we ever came to blows." "Scratches? I won't deny that," she said, adding, "We filmed a scene and Shannon pulled my dress and tried to hit me with her leg. She did everything to make me go out of focus. Eventually she pulled the dress up and exposed my butt so everyone could see it. So I broke down and yelled at her something like, 'Come on, bitch, we're taking it outside.'" Jason Priestley also told of another case, in which Doherty got angry at the publicist who sent her a regular car instead of a limousine, and said that at some point he ran out of patience with her. She really didn't care about anything. "At first it was a cool approach, and at some point it got tired," he said. Doherty, for her part, has always insisted that her problematic attitude was an attention to detail and a quest for perfection that she demanded from herself and those around her. She admitted at the time in an interview, "I'm not saying that I don't have bad moments, because everyone has them, but they always have a reason. I've always been a brave girl. I know that sometimes it annoys people, but doesn't that make the result better?" By the way, on the podcast Beverly Hills 90210 show, where the creators of the series and its stars are guests, it is often said that Doherty was always one of the most professional and talented actresses they had the chance to work with, that she was always ready for her scenes, gave what was asked of her and beyond, and, yes, she knew what worked for her the best technically. Sometimes, they say, she made life difficult for the crew because she thought the scene should be done in a different way than planned, but her goal was always to improve and get the most out of the filming. One of the directors of the series said that even if she arrived after a long night in which she jumped from club to club and didn't have time to sleep when she arrived on set, she used to take one look at her text for that day and immediately get down to business. She was involved in a violent altercation with another woman outside a Los Angeles nightclub. Her landlord claimed she owed him tens of thousands of dollars in back payments, and she was convicted of driving while intoxicated and sentenced to community service and a fine. She also had problems in the romantic arena. She got engaged to 2 different partners and canceled both engagements. The breakup with the second fiancé, Dean Factor, was done in a very bad spirit. He said that she pointed a gun at him and threatened to hire thugs to beat me up and sodomize me. With fiancé number 3, actor Ashley Hamilton, she managed to get to the marriage canopy, perhaps because she didn't waste time. They were together only 2 weeks and remained married a little longer, 5 months. She recently said on her podcast that he used to beat her. "I don't think anyone knew that my father was very sick and that my husband was a heavy drug addict and very violent at times. It was too much for me. I didn't want to look like a victim, to say this is what my husband does. Few people knew, maybe my personal makeup artist because she had to hide some bruises. Those were crazy times," she said. Although Doherty was considered the undisputed star of the series and had many fans, as is often the case with a passionate audience, she also had quite a few haters. Only then there were no social networks to spread the filth, so they founded a fan club called I Hate Brenda, which included a monthly newsletter with lots of filth and also a phone number where those interested could call and hear all the latest gossip about their not-so-beloved star. In the end, after a few fights and too many delays, her series co-stars demanded her dismissal. And considering that one of the claimants was Tori Spelling, Doherty's best friend, and also the daughter of series producer Aaron Spelling, they got what they wanted. In the years that followed, it seemed that Doherty's career was fading. From one of the biggest and most talked about stars in the world, she became an actress of remote TV movies. For her part, she took the free time to recover from the mess around her. I found some peace and discovered who I was. I wasn't really what the tabloids said. I had some difficult experiences in my personal life. I dealt with a bad husband or a bad partner, and I did all this in front of the cameras, so I didn't deal with it well, she said. Toward the end of the 90s, she got a chance to make a comeback, and surprisingly, the one who gave it to her was Aaron Spelling, who cast her in his new series, Charmed. Doherty starred alongside Holly Marie Combs and Alyssa Milano, but history repeated itself, and this time it was Milano who clashed with Doherty. We definitely didn't get along. We are very different women. There were mornings when I came and said good morning to her, and she didn't respond. Other mornings she turned to me, and I was the one who didn't answer, according to Milano. The production team made several attempts to reconcile the women, which according to Combs only made the situation worse. In the end, after only 3 seasons, when it came to a me or her situation, Spelling had no choice but to give up Doherty's services once again. She later said, "I think everyone understands that I'm always completely honest, and sometimes it's worked against me. I can't change that, and I like it myself. I like that I'm real. I won't pretend to be someone's friend if I'm not really like that." In recent years, she received a lot of love from fans who met her at nostalgia conventions, in which she took part together with her co-stars from Beverly Hills, 90210, and Charmed. In the last year, she also hosted her own podcast where she spoke honestly about her health and all the rumors, scandals, and stories that have been out there about her over the years. In the coming days, he was supposed to join Holly Marie Combs and Brian Krause for a podcast rewatching Charmed. They managed to record 1 episode before her death. This year, her PR woman, Leslie Sloan, told the media, "It is with a heavy heart that I confirm the passing of actress Shannon Doherty." On Saturday, July 13th, she lost her battle with cancer after many years of fighting the disease. The devoted daughter, sister, aunt, and friend was surrounded by her loved ones as well as her dog, Bowie. The family asks for their privacy at this time so they can grieve in peace. "Goodbye, Shannon. We will miss you."